Ann Wilson and the Ann Wilson Thing is going to be at the Keswick Theater. Tickets are available through keswicktheater.com, and Ann Wilson is on the phone with us this morning. Hi, Ann.
Hi, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm lovely. Everything's going great.
Well, that's good. I'm laughing because it's nice that I don't hear a bus rolling in the background. The last time we spoke, you were on the tour bus.
We are. We're parked, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Obviously, the majority of this band is a different band than Heart. But is it odd at times to, like, look to your left or right and Nancy isn't there?
Well, I'm pretty used to it at this point because we've been doing this for nearly 2 years. When I look over and she's not there, and then I listen to the song that we're playing that doesn't have an acoustic part and doesn't have Nancy's voice, and I think it all fits. You know?
Okay. All right. You know, over the years, you guys, I mean, it is amazing how you guys have persevered, how you guys have just continued to rock your asses off. But were there things that ever got to you that, like, guy bands could get away with, but you guys couldn't?
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, I always felt that rock and roll was sort of invented by men. Was sort of developed by guys. And so when women want to come into it and pour their weird emotions all over it,
Okay.
it's better for women to develop their own universe of rock and just let it run parallel.
I've got to ask about the Kennedy Center honors. How did that come about? How did they end up picking you guys to do that? And then how did you end up playing Stairway to Heaven? I mean, the pressure about that and playing that in front of the guys from Led Zeppelin must have been intense.
And the president and first lady.
Oh, yes.
And Stephen Colbert and David Letterman and Dustin Hoffman. You name it, they were there. I'm not real sure as to how the process of choosing us was, but probably because we're known for covering Zeppelin stuff, you know, and in a way that was true to the Zeppelin legacy.
I was going through my mom's records the other day from the 70s, and it seemed like every single one was just this delicate flower of a woman with an acoustic guitar, your Tapestries, your Carole Kings, Joni Mitchell, what have you. How much of Heart was in a direct response to that popularity of music at that time?
Well, back then, you had to either be a folk singer or someone like Carole King, like a singer-songwriter.
Right.
Or you had to be a disco diva.
Right.
And there wasn't really any precedent for women doing rock, so we just had to sort of go through and do what we thought was right and cut our own rules.
So that was premeditated by you and your sister? Like you specifically wanted to target
as we went along,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I saw that you and Nancy and Hart did a live album from Royal Albert Hall, and that was the first time you guys were there. When you walk out on different stages, is there different feelings in each building you go to, or is it sort of all the same? Does it fall into the same category?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of special things. Like the other night we played the House of Blues in New Orleans, and that place is completely vibey. It's got its own feeling. Now, if you play one of these big Live Nation tours like we did last year, and you play the sheds all across the country, they're just identical.
Right.
You can't even tell where you are. You don't even come close to the city usually. So those types of places are pretty cookie cutter. But the smaller theaters and other kinds of gigs are all different, and they're great.
Ann Wilson, our guest, she will be at the Keswick Theater this coming Thursday. Tickets are available at keswicktheater.com. And thank you so much for taking the time today.
Oh, you're welcome. It was my pleasure.
And the acoustics in the bus sound great.
Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Classic Rock 102.9 NGK.